Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Here is Masters of the Universe Fields of Eternia. This is an expansion called The Spell of Separation. It tells you expansion for the core game, including the evil Horde faction. For many He-Man fans, we are very excited to have this. You're going to get a rule book inside, but let's take a look at this and talk about it for a moment. They call it a mission book because really that's what it is. A little bit of an index. You're going to have a picture of all the components. If you lose anything, you don't know what came with it, it goes right in there. The different cards, I love this breakdown. I like to know how many cards and tokens are supposed to be in here. There's a few additional rules. It's going to tell you about the Skull event, etc. Not a whole lot is different in this one. But it does kind of tell you some of these things that you'll have in here. Nothing groundbreaking. Here's what a lot of people will be here for. You can add a third team. So you can play with 3 players now. You can have Skeletor's crew, He-Man's crew, and the Horde. And a wild card rule. So this is going to tell you right here what's available. There's only 1 mission available, which I think is too little. I would like at least 3 to 5 that were included. You're going to get just 1. But it is a doozy. You can have some new epic beasts that are going to be there. There's starting locations, etc. No real spoilers. Just don't read this part right here. But the new mechanic, and I'll go over that in a few minutes. Got some pictures and artwork here, and the credits. A lot of this is just wasted paper. On the back are some really cool artwork. I won't say wasted, but mission book, not really any new rules in here. So let's take a look. These will be the characters that you will get with this one. Now, this was one of my favorite ones when I was a kid. I had this, he was all furry and stuff. Is Grizzlor. You're going to get Leech, Hordak himself. We'll come back to these in a couple minutes. You're going to get the Shadow Weaver. This is a brand new character for this. Catra, Scorpia, and she was really cool also. So those will be the 6 characters you're going to get, all with different stats and powers, etc. Really fun stuff here. So what you're going to get here for the mission is these 3. So the victory cards will not be used with this particular mission. Instead, you can look right here at the different icons. So if you're playing with Skeletor's Man or He-Man or the Hordak, you'll get this tile. This is a real nice tile you're going to get. This will tell you how you score victory points on here. Now, as you notice, some of these are in red. So the blacks are optional. You can score points this way, but you cannot win no matter how many victory points you get unless you accomplish the red part. So everybody will have red on here that they can do. And this will replace the victory cards. Put those back in the box. You will not use it with this mission. Now these guys can be used with other missions, etc. of course. But if you're doing this mission, then you will just use these instead. Very cool pieces. Then you're going to get the Spell of Separation cards that will be in here. These will have a little bit of spoiler, but different Keyrex, Arcana Spider-Women's, Dragosaur. You're going to have different things in here that you'll be able to do. And of course, the big one is going to be Procrustes. This will be the bad guy that you will fight. And he is what you call a boss. So the bosses, you have to go every round. You're not going to beat them in one turn like you would a Cax or one of these Spider Warriors. This guy you have to beat, and it may take you a lot of rounds to beat him. He's a very powerful guy. But it does give you 3 victory points, and he's required in order for the Hordak to win the game. Now, you're going to get some new cards here, get some new spells, equipment, some combat cards for the Horde, and you're going to get some new vehicles in here. So this will all be included in that. You're going to get red dice for the Horde. These are no different than what was in the other one. Okay, so what else are you going to get? Well, they're going to be the miniatures. We'll take a look at those in a second. But he's going to have his little minions that he'll have here. These guys are really popular from the show. Now, mine are all painted. Yours will not be painted. Of course, you can paint them up. But as you can see, they're pretty fantastic. Now, what you're going to get here is you're going to have 3 ways to upgrade your soldiers or minions. Anybody can upgrade that depending on the faction. So the black ones are going to become elite. And these guys just kind of pop down right into them just like that. So the black elite's going to be 2 hit points instead of 1, and they're a little bit stronger. The merchants, these are going to double any money or Eternium that you get from the locations. And the sailors are blue. They can move like the heroes. You don't just move from territory to territory. They can go into the wilds and across rivers and stuff. In order to upgrade your character, you're going to spend 1 action and 2 Eternium, and you'll be able to upgrade them. And you pick whichever one you want, and you slide it on the bottom of your minion. Let's take a look at these right now. Remember, mine will be painted. Your mileage may vary on how you like. this paint job, or if you decide to paint yours, there's Leech. And then we will have Katera right here. And they all have their own little spot that they fit in here. And they have a lot of... And she's really cool here with her whip kind of coming through here with her sword, etc. And she's a really cool miniature, as you can see. And she's one that's really kind of open for battle there. And this one's a little bit more of a magic one right here. You can see the magic coming out right through here, etc. Kind of a nice one. You have a little bit of the rock protruding out of the back. Very nice little miniature they've included there. Here is one of my favorite ones. You can see a lot of detail in this one. You can see Scorpia has the tail going through the back. It's very cool. And one I like to plug in there and play. Now, my personal favorite from Kid, I love Grizzlor. I think it was really cool. He's got his little crossbow on the back that he can utilize. You can see right there. And he looks pretty good with his double swords out. Very, very nice. And of course, the evil madman himself, Hordak. You can see him right in here. Excellent use of him. So, what do I think of this expansion? What do I think of Spell of Separation? This is a must-buy if you want to play 3 players. You can have all 3 factions, and you can't get the factions anywhere else, so you will need to get this box in to do that. You can play 3 players or just have different factions coming in and out. If you like any of these characters, especially like Grizzlor is one of my favorite factions, or Hordak himself, and the new minions, you will need to get this to get the dice, etc. So for me, I wish it had another mission. I think that's the biggest negative of this. It should have had 3 to 5 missions. Instead, it only has 1. That's not quite enough. Everything else about this is pretty amazing. I love the new faction. I love the 3-player format. I like the new characters. Of course, these are a must, right? You want more and more. He-Man was always about more characters. And it really comes through this Masters of the Universe Fields of Eternia. The new spells, the new vehicles, all that is warranted. But star of the show is going to be the Evil Horde faction. Great job. Add this one to your collection almost instantaneously.